The FBI has apparently been watching one of the local suspects in a nationwide test-taking scam. Investigators say 5 local college students were paying people to take English tests for them so they could get student visas. And in court today, one of those students' suspicious past came out. Fox 43's Patty Colhane joins us now with more on the latest developments in this case.
Kelly, in court today, Fahad Al-Harji was held without bail. The judge is afraid he'll run. He came to our attention because of the test-taking scam, but we now know he's been in the FBI sights since just after September 11th. The reasons why are disturbing. Does he have terrorist ties? You can decide for yourself.
Who is Fahad Al-Harji? The better question tonight, who and what does he know? We know he paid for 3 Middle Eastern men to stay at the Holiday Inn in Los Angeles near the airport. They stayed there from August 24th to September 10th. When they were here, their behavior suspicious. When they left, it got even stranger. According to court testimony, the FBI found 2 laptops left in the room. On it, flight numbers, pilot names, and flight times. There was also a broken cell phone there. The feds found Al-Harji's number on it. And in the closet, pilot uniforms for commercial flights. Al-Harji paid for round-trip plane tickets for the 3 men. They flew from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. They were supposed to fly back September 10th, but they didn't show. Instead, they flew to London and then home to the Middle East, home to Qatar. The plane they were supposed to be on that day, the very next day, the same plane that caused this damage, the plane that plunged into the Pentagon. And there's more. On September 15th, Al-Harji bought a cell phone in D.C. He said it was for a friend. The next day, the government says 2 other men flew from New York to Tel Aviv in Israel. They were stopped. One had on him a farewell letter. Police say he was going to be a suicide bomber. In his phone's memory, the number for the phone Al-Harji had just bought. In September, he was living here in Norfolk. The FBI searched his home on the 15th. They found pictures of the attack, Arabic words for violence, and listen to this, a list in English of military terminology. They've been watching him at his new place here in this gated Chesapeake community, the FBI going through his trash. One day they say they found human feces and a used condom. They say those are signs of drug trafficking. He had just gotten back from Morocco, but there were no traces of drugs. Is all of this enough to consider this man dangerous as he tries to hide from our camera leaving court today? You can't help but notice he's still in custody, not because the judge thought he could be dangerous, but because he was afraid he'd run. Here's why. He has a lot of money. In just this past January, he spent $15,000 plus. The government has no idea where it all came from. And they say he's violated the rules of his student visa. He's been here since 1999. He said he studied at UCLA, USC, and Columbia in New York. But the FBI says there are no records to back that up.
Now, Al-Harji's lawyer calls all this information misleading, pointing out that his client hasn't been connected to anyone that's been accused of a crime. He says the government is simply targeting him because he is of Arab descent. Kelly?
Patty, thank you. The charges Al-Harji is facing because of the test-taking scam are fairly minor. Now, if convicted, he could be sentenced to as little as 6 months in jail. So who is eligible for a student visa? Well, there are 3 things someone from another country needs to come to school here in the United States. 1 is proof that they were accepted into a university. 2, you have to prove you plan on returning to your home country after completing school. A 3rd thing you have to prove, you have enough money to go to school without working illegally.
Attorney General John Ashcroft announced a new system to track foreign students today. Ashcroft says the new rules will make sure U.S. immigration laws are respected.
Schools will be accountable for confirming the status of student visa holders. The Immigration and Naturalization Service will be accountable for enforcing violations of that status. The United States of America will not allow our welcome to be abused by those who disguise themselves and their intentions.
Ashcroft says the new plan will go into effect July 1st.
The Immigration and Naturalization Service apparently awarded a visa to a third September 11th hijacker after the terrorist attacks. An Arizona flight school says the INS sent word to the school in February that a student visa had been approved for Hani Hanjour. He's believed to have been at the controls of the hijacked plane that hit the Pentagon. The notification is similar to one received by a Florida flight school about 2 other hijackers months after the attacks.